Welcome to Money Convos, where we discuss personal finance and investment tips. We're committed to helping people create wealth and achieve financial freedom. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. Alright then, let's head into today's conversation.
Hello, Angela. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Do stay tuned. We'll be starting in a few moments. Just waiting for one or two more people to join. Hello, Happy New Year. It's a brand new year. This is the first conversation we are having this year, so looking forward to having it. Today we are talking about goals for 2023. Stay tuned and we would share with you some tips on how to set goals and share with you our own goals that you can hold us accountable to. Okay, great. I think we can start now. Hi, Adam and Prince. I've sent you requests to come up, so please do that. Okay, great. Adam, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, though.
Nice. Have we spoken this year? Did you say you are tired?
Yes, I am already. It's just 4th January.
The year just started. Why are you tired?
Oh, Charlie, I told you the whole period I've been busy. I've been working.
A big man.
Oh, Charlie. A small man trying to do big things.
Interesting. I don't think we've spoken this whole year.
No. I don't think so.
Nice. Anyway, Mimi, Prince, how you doing? Happy New Year. Wait, Mimi, I've spoken to you a couple of times. Prince, yes, I've spoken to you this year. How you all doing? Mimi, if you are speaking, we can't hear you. Okay, Mimi dropped off. Prince, how you doing? Prince, if you are speaking, you are muted. Okay. Mimi, are you back? Okay. I guess we will have to circle back to them in a bit. Okay, great. So, first session of the... Hi, Mimi. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing yourself?
Great.
Yes.
Nice.
Happy New Year, everyone. And a special shout-outs to Edem, one of the 3 wise men.
Wait a minute. Is this an inside joke I'm not aware of?
Oh,
You are not aware of that one.
No, you tell. What's going on here? If some of us are starting the year wise, some of us need to know where we have to go and eat whatever wisdom food there is.
It's just that for the 31st watch night, I took inspiration from the Arabic dressing, so that's how I dress. That's why. And she got to see my dressing. That's it.
Hey, you ushered the new year in with style.
You know, Charlie, the gold for oil, no. I want to participate.
Wow. 2023, your year of style. That's nice. Anyway, without much ado, we have a nice audience here. I see some names. I see that they're already following us, so maybe I've not been paying attention to the audience so closely, but nice to have you all here with us in our first session. We are going to be talking about goal setting, how to stick through the goals throughout the year. I'm sure you've already got your gym membership, so we have to find a way to protect your money by keeping you going the whole year. And then we will be talking about also our own goals that you can hold us accountable to by the end of the year. And we'll be doing like quarterly or semi-annual check-ins. We have to practice what we preach, right? But before then, I have some exciting news. If you listen to podcasts, you'll love this. We started Money Convos, our weekly sessions on Clubhouse sometime in April last year, properly, right? In the more regular ones. Before that, there were a couple of sporadic sessions. And we've got a lot of old discussions that we've had, and people may not have joined in those ones. But guess what? We are making them available on our podcast. So search for Money Convos wherever you listen to podcasts, and you would have it have them there ready for you to listen. We'll be releasing about one old one every week on a Sunday So every Sunday it's made available, and we'll try to bring up the conversation that we'll have each week. Try to bring it live, make it available on the podcast immediately after, perhaps the day after or so. Also, it will be on YouTube. I haven't put the YouTube one up live just yet, but expect that from tomorrow going, you see all those ones. If you are wondering about our take on what's going on in the Ghanaian economy with the CD versus the dollar, debt restructuring, all of those things, those conversations are already up on the podcast, so you can go check them out, and they will also be on YouTube very soon. So do catch up on those conversations and follow us, subscribe, so that you will not miss any of those conversations. Back to today's conversation, goal setting. But I'm sure we all know about setting goals, and every year people talk about this. There's this funny picture. Well, it's not really funny. A cartoon of a lady making some steps, and said, "This year I'm stepping into something." Has anyone seen that picture before? Adam, have you seen that picture? Oh, Mimi, have you?
No, not in it.
What? Okay, I'll look it up and see if I can post it up. But every year people are saying this is a new year, new this, people coming up with new year resolutions and goals. But the question then really is, why do we even have to set goals? Just out of curiosity, why should we set goals? Anyone wants to take a stab at it?
Alikem, so personally, I feel like we need some direction, right? And so the need to set goals. Otherwise, you get up and you just do anything. So, I was thinking about my what I have to do with my department for this year. And I wasn't too clear on exactly what to do. I was like, okay, but I'd set some goals earlier before the management retreat. So when the confirmation came that these are your goals, just then I realized there was just a lot more clarity on what exactly I'm supposed to be doing for the year. So I'm not going to waste my time on activities that are unnecessary, because I have what I'm focusing on. So I think goals give you some more direction. And before you set your goals, at least you should have sat down to reflect and think about where you want to go in life, what is important to you, etc. So that whatever you are focusing on, eventually when you achieve it, it should bring you some sort of fulfillment. Yeah, so that's why I think there's a need to set goals.
That's powerful. I like what you said about setting direction, and most importantly, no wasting your time. If you don't have goals, you just be like a leaf in the wind, blown, or a wave in the ocean, just going up and down at someone else's will. Adam, how about you? Any other reason why you think we should be setting goals?
Okay, just like Mimi said, when you don't have any goals, it's like you're just moving around without a particular direction. A goal is more or less like an expected end, a destination, a place where you are expecting to get to. So if we are moving around and we don't have or we don't set goals, then we can be distracted. And also goals help us to prioritize the things that we are supposed to do, because there are so many competing needs or so many competing things for our attention, our time, our energy, our resources. So if you have clear-cut goals, then you know which ones you are prioritizing, which ones you are putting emphasis on, and which one you can de-emphasize, and which ones you can actually outrightly ignore, so that you can have your peace of mind. Yeah.
Powerful. That's good. I like how you can de-emphasize certain things. Okay, let's get into it. So any particular tips that anyone has to share on how to stick with goals this year? Or, in fact, before we do that, what kind of goals should people be thinking about? What makes a good goal? And I've heard about SMART goals before, but can we even apply those in our personal lives?
First of all, I think that your goal should cover every aspect of your life. And so if you are a spiritual person, definitely something should capture that. If you are a family person, I mean, everybody has a family or some kind of relationships, right? And you would definitely want to make sure that you are investing in those relationships. So being deliberate about it. What goals can you set? What people do you need to spend more time with? Like, etc. Career goals, personal development goals, finance goals. It could even be self-care goals. Whatever area of your life you think it's important that you want to be deliberate about your health, you can decide to set goals for that particular area of your life. That said, I've forgotten your follow-up question. Can you
It
remind
was
me?
like when we are setting goals, like what qualifies as a good goal, or what are the criteria to think about? For example, I hear about SMART goals. Can we really
Okay.
apply that technical thing in our personal lives?
Yeah, I think smart goals, even though like I'm sure everyone is rolling their eyes, not again. I think it's important that we set smart goals because I mean it's like saying I want to be rich. What exactly is rich? Maybe rich is what Elikem is right now, right? And probably Elikem doesn't feel rich because his definition of rich is different. So you have to be a bit more specific that okay, I want to be worth maybe 1 million by so and so, and it has to be measurable. Every year you should have to be able to sit down and look at where you are and look at where you are going and see are you likely to get there or are you just joking? Do you need to put the goal somewhere? Do you need to reduce it? Do you need to change your strategy, etc.? Then it has to be attainable. So while I'm talking about it being attainable, you still have to be ambitious. I think there's something that, this year I was tempted to be a bit more lazy with my goal setting, but I realized that it being attainable doesn't mean that it has to be something just easy. Okay, it should still be ambitious. You should still push yourself, but you can't tell yourself that you are going to be a medical doctor at the end of the year when you haven't gone to medical school. I don't know if there's any miracle like that, but you know the process. So whatever goal you set has to make sense. Even though you want to be ambitious, it has to make sense. Okay, then realistic, right? Okay, so realistic and attainable. I think instead of attainable, I should have used another one. What's the other word?
Is it achievable? Or
Achievable? No, there's another word. Okay, sorry. Rather, instead of realistic, relevant. It has to be relevant to you. So you realize that within the year, a lot of us, if we look back at what we spent our money on and ask yourself, why did you spend your money on? You realize that, oh, it's because a friend had it. I remember a relative bought a Benz because a friend bought a Benz, and then later on realized it's no big deal. So why is it relevant to you? Is it important to you, or you are just doing it? It's just a goal because somebody else's expectation of you. You understand? So how relevant, how important is it to you? And then of course it should be time bound because for it to be measured, there should be a time to it. You can't say I want to be rich. When is it? Today? If it's today, it's different from if it's tomorrow. If it's today, probably you have to look at galamsey and a few other illegal ways. But if it's in the next 10 years, then we can look at, okay, what can we do so that in the next 10 years, that is not just a dream, but it's a reality. It becomes a reality. Sorry.
that's good. All right. So I see how we can apply smart goals in our own lives, even though it may seem like something technical. Like Mimi said, you want to roll your eyes. Okay. Prince, how about you? What do you think about when you are setting goals?
Elikem, thank you and Happy New Year to everybody on your call. For me, I look at, what Mimi just talked about. It should be something that something that is very important to me, something that I think that within a time frame, I should be able to achieve it. And it's something that should also be something not just me wishing, but something that is specific that I can put timelines to it that within this period I need to do this, and get that. So for me, it's I think whatever Mimi said embodies with my goal setting, and we should also look at some goals are it's a long-term goal, right? So if we find ourselves also meeting some of these goals, we should look at how best we can also work with it on the long term. So Mimi made mention of you being a doctor. I will use an example. So last year I had a goal that by the end of the year I need to be certified as a chartered insurer, and I think I was writing some papers. I think it was a long-term goal. So I did some papers, and within the year I said, okay, this year I need to go and finish it up. And last year I need to go and finish it up, and I went and I did, and I finished it up. Yeah. So I think some of the long-term goal feeds into it comes through the year. So every year you have to do something about the long-term goal that you set for yourself to take you closer to achieving it. Yeah. So for me, I think everything that we've said embodies the exact way that a goal needs to be set for an individual to achieve them, and make sure that he or she becomes at the end of the day very satisfied with the goals that he or she set. Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad you're able to achieve those goals of being a chartered insurer. Adam, how about you? What do you think about when you're setting goals? Anything new that hasn't been said already?
Oh, I think I was just going to say something in line with what Prince said. Basically, that it's always good to have those broader long-term goals and then smaller ones that feed into the long-term goals. And that way, I see that it helps to guide an overall movement, so that it's not like today something comes up in your mind and it's a goal, and then you shift the next time and it's like you're all over the place. So if you have some long term and then break it down into probably a year, and then that year's or 5 years goal, then break it down into smaller ones, and then in a whole year you know that maybe every quarter or every month I'm doing this, I'm taking this step to achieving that particular goal. I think it helps. So that's one of the things that I think when I'm thinking about my goals, I look at. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, along the same lines. So guys, I'm gonna have to put you on the spot and ask you a question. I hope you don't ask me the same question. Do you have any goals that have been evading you for some years? Okay, you know what? I'll set the ball rolling. For me, six packs. Once I lost my six packs like 10 years ago, it's been a constant battle to try to. I give up. It's okay. I give up.
And he can the ribs or it was six
Oh,
packs.
see, I used to see. Listen. I've been there before, man. I've been there before. Okay. And what my old friends? Cause they are not here. I used to wear a shirt and I was bulging out. Okay. I know it's hard to imagine, but anyway, that's one goal that's evading me right now. My health, my fitness goals are different. You understand? How about you? Anyone has any goals that have been evading them?
I wouldn't say I'll say that if a goal has evaded me, it's because I haven't been too sure about it and intentional with it. So for years I always wanted to do a professional course, but I was never clear on what exactly I should be doing. I would always say CFP, that certified financial planner, which I think I've been saying for almost 10 years now. And I've never really come to doing it because the last I checked, the person in the state was advising that, it's mostly applies the laws of that country. And so it wouldn't be too appropriate. So I wouldn't say I didn't set it as a goal, but it was something that was on my mind to do. I need to do some kind of a professional course or something, but I never really got to being deliberate. As actually, it just ended it with research, not going beyond that to do anything extra. Beyond that, I feel like for most goals I set, even goals I write down without even going back to some way, somehow, I don't know. But sometimes I realize that it still comes to pass. I don't know if it's somewhere in my mind somewhere. But ever since I started setting goals, I think most of the time, I think the goals that I don't really achieve are parenting goals. And I think that, you see, unlike the other things, they are really under your control. But parenting, like the kids they have a mind of their own. So maybe you say, oh, play with the kids, and it's going to become something else, some shouting sessions or something like that. So I think the parenting one hasn't really gone down too well. But most of the things that I can control and I'm deliberate about, I'm able to achieve.
Oh wow! I hope your kids will come and disturb you for doing this. If you've been ignoring them, shame on you. Prince, any thoughts?
So for me, I think I have two goals actually. That one is, being regular to the gym. Sometimes I go and pay the thing, all right, but Charlie, when you close from work and the way you look at your body, trying to get yourself to the gym becomes a problem. And sometimes too, I stay late at work, and sometimes getting to the gym is also a problem. So that one is something that I'm still finding my way around how to, because growing up, I was so slim and I can eat anything and nothing will happen to me. No, my stomach will never show, like nothing, but recently for some years now, it's like it began to gain some weight that's it's really troubling my mind. So I decided to start doing the gym to put things in check. And it's like you go and pay, and it's like you are not able to stick to the plan. And it's something that is really being on my mind. The next one has to do with sometimes within the year I mostly have dressing goals. Okay, so I'm a fan of suits. I like suits with my pocket square, and then I'm on the hook. Yeah, but you see, when I switch job, it's like it's not so much compulsory for you to be in suit. So sometimes you kind of like, actually I want to dress good, but sometimes you wake up and you look at where you are going to pass and go like, oh no, this one I cannot be in suit. And it's like it makes it more like this is how you want to be, but because of where you find yourself, you cannot be in the kind of things you want to wear. So for these two things, I'm looking at it. That's why I'm talking to Mimi. If Mimi can, employ me, I think from their end, being in suit will be very compulsory for me, so that I can come and work with Mimi. Thank you,
Charlie. This, the first part that you talked about reminds me of our conversation about the challenge, how to overcome the challenges of the 20s or the 30s. In the 20s, early 20s, our metabolism is very high. Then getting to the end of the 20s and then entering the 30s, and the body is not the same again. You have to manage it better. Man, I remember those days back in uni. You could go and learn and then go and eat Indomie around 1 a.m. and go and sleep right after, and you'll be fine. Still 6 packs. Wink, wink, Mimi. Still had 6 packs back then. Anyway, Adam, how about you? Do you also have gym woes? Have you been investing in gyms for free?
At least for the gym there, that part I'm better off. Like, I've been quite consistent. It's not so bad. So on that score, it's not been too, but probably not to the way I want it to. and maybe I can associate with you on the 6 pass part, but so it's been a rolling goal that, but it gets to a point where some of these things not really are too much of a big deal. I just want to be fit, that's all. And then, but the main goal that keeps eluding is, it's interesting. Some years ago, I decided that I wanted to continually do like, to always study something. I like to take a course or something. And the online courses I keep signing up and not being able to finish them. And that's one of the major ones that I hope to correct this year. When you sign up for an online course and then you go halfway through and then you're not able to finish. So that is a goal that keeps eluding me, even though I had set out that every year I would study something, not necessarily go to an organized school, but to study something online and pick up some particular skill or something. It keeps eluding me for some years now, and hopefully this year I'll correct that. Yes.
That keeps eluding you. You can't finish these courses that you started, my brother. Oh, maybe this will be your year of finishing. 2023, your year of style and year of finishing.
Amen.
It's interesting you talk about this. One of my favorite videos on YouTube is a TEDx video. If anyone has a chance, go look it up. The Discipline of Finishing by Con O'Neill. It's a very powerful one. It starts with it giving allusions, stories about athletes who finish, how they're able to finish. You just think about it, the next stroke. Just if you are swimming, just think about the next stroke, one stroke at a time. I'll try and pin the link to this tweet in the thread. Okay, so I brought this up about the places that we've been lacking and the goals that evade us, because before we even set goals for this year again, because let's be honest, we've all been setting goals for many, many years and we've not been hitting those goals. So we need to figure out what's wrong. Okay. We can all make goals, but what's wrong? Why can't we stick to those goals? So I know Mimi and Adam in various parts of what they were saying hinted at some of the reasons why we are unable to achieve the goals that we set. Can we think of any reasons why people are unable to achieve their goals or follow through with their goals? Why do people get distracted? Why do they lose steam? Let's try and do some problem solving at this point.
Okay, so can I go?
Sure.
Okay, I think sometimes we set too many goals and it becomes overwhelming, or when your goals are overly ambitious. And so I started my career in sales, and one thing I remember is whenever the target was crazy, you just park the target somewhere and do what you can do, because it is too crazy for you to even look at without getting a headache. So I think that sometimes we are either doing too much. Only you have like 1,000 goals for 2023 alone, or the goals are too ambitious, so you put them aside. One thing I realized from joining the gym, yes, I just started the gym. Even
there is death in the house.
Even though I still have my one pack bulging out. I just started the gym, and I have a, what do you call this, gym instructor, right? And so when I go to the gym, I do the treadmill for 20 minutes. And honestly, after 3 minutes, I just want to get down and sit down. But because I have someone watching my back, you have to do the 20 minutes. Even through the pain, I'm still on the thing. And as if that's not enough, after that, I have to do all sorts of exercises that I paid for before I go home. So I think having an accountability partner really, or someone you're accountable to. And I realize it really works at work, because you have to report to your supervisor, or I have to report to my GM every month. You want to put in good work so that when it's time to report, you have something sensible to say and you won't be disgraced. So I think having some kind of accountability works. Also, breaking down the goals into activities, right? So if you say you want to save 1,000, but you don't have what you are doing weekly, daily, monthly to achieve that, you would end the year and then there will be no 1,000 Ghana cedis because you've not broken it down to practical steps. And also, as much as possible, automating those things that can be automated. And then I think what I decided to do, I've been talking to Elikem our podcast. So now what I decided to do is on my way to work, I'll put it on rather than say, oh, when I come home, I'll look for time when I know I have a very busy schedule. So what are those free times that I can push this in? And I tried it today and it was nice. So I think that let's get realistic. Let's break it down to activities that we know will work for us. And yeah, those are things that I like to point out.
Mimi, as you started with the podcast, I can assure you your life will never be the same again. Podcasts are the best thing since sliced bread. Speaking of podcasts, go look for Money Convos wherever you listen to your podcast and subscribe to our YouTube. Episodes coming very soon. Interesting. Okay, Adam, how about you? Mimi has mentioned a bunch of them. Any other reasons you've observed that people are reasons why people don't get to follow through?
I think one of the major challenges basically is even the goals in themselves. Like some of the things we talked about earlier, are the goals smart? Sometimes it's not generally specific. So we really don't know exactly what we are trying to achieve. So that in itself can be a hindering factor. Okay, so if you are not very specific to, as much as possible, clearly spell out what you want to achieve, then it could lead to you not being able to achieve the particular goal. And then sometimes we set out to set goals. I think we may give an example of someone buying a Benz because the neighbor also bought one or something like that. We set out to do certain things because maybe someone else is probably doing like this thing we are talking about, gym. People will just say, oh, I also want to sign up for the gym. But is it something that personally you have evaluated yourself and you realize that this is what I need to do? And is it something that you are committed to doing? Because if you aren't, trust me, in the process of trying to achieve goals, there are so many things that will come to hinder you. And unless you are really committed to the goal, you will just fall back along the way. So let's not just set goals because it's fashionable to do, but is it something you are ready to commit yourself to? And sometimes too, we don't assess the entire thing to know that this is what will be involved. When you set up a goal, for example, you want to save a certain amount of money every month. Is this something that your budget can accommodate? Is it something that realistically it can fit within the scheme of things that you have? So if you don't realize the amount of effort or the amount of resources that it will take to achieve that goal, once you start working towards it and you realize that no, this is bigger than you thought, then sometimes you are forced to just abandon the goal midstream. So I think these are some of the reasons that can prevent us from achieving the goals that we set for ourselves. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a good point. Thanks for sharing that. Before I ask Prince what his thoughts are, there's one that's nagging on my mind. Setting too many goals. Sometimes we stretch ourselves too thin. And I'm eyeing someone here on stage with me. We want to do this, you want to do that, you want to be an Avenger, you want to be president of Ghana all at the same time and still want to be father of the year, whichever you are. It's sometimes you really can't do it all. I would prefer that I would do one thing very well than to do so many things poorly, so that's something that could help you. Maybe don't set too many goals, just focus. Hopefully, even if it's for the whole year, you may focus on one, finish it early, and then take on another one. That's way better than stretching yourself thin. You'll be pulled in so many different directions, you get confused. Prince, how about you?
Okay, so earlier for me, I feel people are not able to achieve their goals because Adam spoke about one, which is the goals are not specific. Yeah, so they are not able to achieve it because a specific goal will come with a certain strategy to achieving it. So a strategy to achieve maybe a 10,000 in savings will be completely different from a strategy to achieve a 1 million Ghana cedi in savings, right? So if it's not, your goal is not very specific, it wouldn't help you to achieving them in your life. And another one is also that a lot of people, they set goals, but then they even have doubts in themselves. I think it doesn't cost anything to think small, right? But it doesn't cost anything to think big, but it costs everything to think small. Yeah. So I feel that a lot of people, they set their goal, but they even have doubt in themselves whether they are going to be able to achieve their goal, right? So I think that we should look at that aspect of our lives, because if you take all the big people in the world, you talk about Richard Branson, Elon Musk, they all believe in their product and services. That is how come every time they are looking for ways and means to improving it, right? But if you have set a goal and you yourself, you have doubt of you achieving the goal, I mean, it's something that, I mean, will definitely lead you to not achieving the goal. So at least you should believe in yourself and your ability in reaching the goals that you've set for it. And also, we should look at working towards those goals, right? So the new year starts and we are all happy. We feel it's a new page for new beginnings. But the joy that comes with it is when you set a goal and you are working towards it. So when it's a specific goal, you know that I'm supposed to do this activity to get me closer to my goal, right? And you see that within the first quarter, there's a progress. But when you don't work towards it, I mean, you know that at the end of the day, you are not going to achieve that goal enough. And also, I was reading a book that talked about sometimes we don't motivate ourselves when we are making progress in achieving our goal, right? Yeah. So you say you were going to do something, maybe save something towards the end of the year. Maybe you've been able to take a first step by doing something. So when you do that, at least motivate yourself with something that, hey, I said this and I've been able to do. And sometimes, anytime you do that, the mind shifts to, hey, if you are able to achieve this, you'll be able to do this for yourself. It also helps you in trying to achieve the goal that you have yourself. And also, I also think that we should always stay positive in life. Sometimes you might set a specific goal, but maybe there will be failure. Now, if there is failure, a lot of people can't handle it, right? Good. But you have to understand that failures are feedbacks and they are lessons to show you the right path to success. So sometimes, regardless of the goal that you find yourself, if you are not achieving it, don't look down upon the failure, but gather those failures and know that they are going to inspire you to lead you to the success that you want to achieve. Thank you very much, Elikem.
Amen to that.
Elikem. Yes, to add something to what Prince said, I think sometimes we are achieving those goals, but we don't record them, right? And when you don't record them, you are likely to overlook some of the things that you've done and then beat yourself for not being able to achieve anything. So I think while we set the goals, let's also make sure that when we achieve it, we put it somewhere and then probably take a picture so that we always go back to remind ourselves of what we achieved. And then that becomes something that energizes us to achieve the other goals.
That's a brilliant idea. Record the goals as you get them. And depending on if it's a work goal, that will help you with your performance reviews. Once you've recorded them, you know where to refer to. Okay, great. For me, one last thing I would say before we move on to our own goals for this year, our accountability part, I would say that schedule it into your calendar. You know, in Ghana, people don't pay attention to time, or we don't care so much about time. When you go to an environment where everything happens with the clock, and you miss a bus, and that means you have to walk 30 minutes or 40 minutes or maybe even an hour, you appreciate time and you realize that time is very important. But not only that need for time, but I heard someone say that if you want to know what's important to a CEO, look at their calendar. Schedule in time for the things that are important to you. We don't use our calendars often, but I encourage you that this year, as part of your goal setting and your means of reaching your goals, take your calendar seriously. Use Google Calendar if you use Android, your Apple Calendar, or maybe Outlook, whatever it is you have. Start planning in the time such that you say that every day at this particular time, I want to spend 30 minutes doing this, or 20 minutes, or an hour doing something. Let it send you reminders a day before, or an hour before, or 50 minutes before, so that you would be more conscious to do it. In the beginning, you may not be following it. You may say, oh, something has come up. But make sure that you don't become numb to it. Take it seriously in the beginning. Make sure that nothing else comes in the way. If someone wants to schedule some time to talk to you, or you have to do something, plan your calendar around it. Of course, choose a time that would be realistic and would work for you. You understand? And once you do that, you will start being more deliberate towards achieving those goals. If you don't make time for something, forget it. It's not going to happen. You have to make time for it. And seeing it on your calendar, getting those reminders regularly, it starts putting some pressure on your mind to be able to achieve those goals. Okay, so let's get into the accountability part. As my speakers here, you know the drill. We have, and Sarah, I've invited you up. Please, for this part, come up and submit yourself and your goals so that we can hold you accountable by the end of the year. We are to each come up with 2 of our goals that you don't mind sharing publicly. And by the end of the year, the pass rate is 50%. So you should have achieved one of those goals by the end of the year. So who would like to go first? You can raise your hand or flash your mic so that I invite you to speak. Everybody's afraid. Okay, Prince. Then over to you. Yes, sir.
But why don't you start with us?
I should start. Oh, okay. All right. I know, Bob. No problem.
Make it
Let me start. So, for me, it was so trying to think through my goals for the year, especially ones I wouldn't mind sharing publicly, if you know what I mean, right? It's it was a bit tough because my most overarching goal I'm actually on the path to achieving. And I'm doing my MBA in Cornell, going on to work in one of the world's best consulting firms. At this point, everything is just time. It's just time for me. So what else can I do this year that would be so meaningful? And I think about my passions. Money Convos is one of my passions. So even though it should be an organizational goal for me, I'm putting it on my neck. And Mimi will laugh at me when I say this, that we need to reach at least 5,000 more followers this year. Understand? Last year, I set a very ambitious target of 10,000. Maybe we got 100 or so. But this year, I'll be a bit more realistic. Maybe are you laughing at me?
Which is 5,000.
No, because, and I have a good feeling about it because we've got, from last year till now, we've got some things on the roll. I've seen the benefit of adverts. We are looking to be better structured, more formalized, get funding and all that. So it seems more like a realistic target this year. With the podcast rolling out, YouTube and all that, good graphic designer. I think it just requires some more effort. And I know that achieving this goal will mean me doing a lot more background work, ceding more of the front end stuff to other people to do. So that's one goal. Money Convos should reach 5,000 followers. The second one is a bit personal and interesting. I need to save enough money to come to Ghana for this Christmas. I need to come and do Dirty December. So I have a financial goal for this year. I have to save enough so that this year, in December, chairman will land. And when I land in Ghana, you will feel a third. There will be a difference in the atmosphere. That means I have to save enough because December in Ghana is not cheap. So that's a big goal for me. So yeah, that's mine. I've recorded it so for us to evaluate or check me later. Who would like to go next?
All right. So, Elikem, I am looking at education. Yeah. So, I want to take another step in my education. I've yet not figured it out. I think I shared it with Elikem along the line. Yeah. But I'm still yet to, figure out how things should be. So I'll definitely, but I know education is one of them. Go for another certification this year. And I also was on a project with Mimi. Mimi, how far? Mimi, FFC. Our financial certification.
2035.
Which we are almost through, but we need to do something to go and get our certification, do a demo and all that, but we've not been able to do. So I'm also looking at doing it this year to get my certification from the financial fitness coach certification, and also to since Elikem is trying to come to Ghana to come and blow money, I'm also looking at also meeting him halfway to also blow money in December. So investing is also saving is something that is also very paramount this year. Trying to last year I did quite well, and this year I'm trying to do double of the figures. Yeah, so that is for me here. Yeah,
I see. At this rate, then we may need to the 91 days to Christmas Day. We may need to start it at 360 days to Christmas. So. Because the targets that boys are setting.
I tell you.
Okay. All right. That's great. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Prince. So, just to clarify, on education, you want to start a new certification or a higher education, and then you want to complete the financial fitness coach certification, and then for your investment goals, you want to do double of what you did last year. Okay, I understand that you may not want to mention the number, so I will check in the back end when we are doing accountability.
No problem.
All right. Okay. All right. Who is going next? Mimi. All right.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this year I want to increase my income significantly. Because a girl's got responsibilities, so that's one of my number one goals. Also, I want to. Last year, I didn't do too well with. I think I started a number of courses and didn't finish. So this year, I've repented. I've started the financial planning and wealth management course. Fortunately, it's something I'm interested in. And so I'm hoping to finish that. In fact, Sarah and I is our goal. We are hoping to finish by June this year. So when I am done, I'll pick something else I'm interested in to start again. So I think, making more income and then that. Also, I'm looking at diversifying my portfolio in the short to medium term. So I'm looking at, I know Elikem will roll his eyes, but I'm looking at real estate in the medium term. So my question is now, how do I prepare myself for those opportunities? So those are some of the things that I'll be focusing on this year, how I can start preparing myself so that at a particular time I can take advantage of the opportunity.
Interesting, Mimi. We said 2. You have given us 3. Which one should we use?
Extra for someone that doesn't have 2 goals.
Extra by force. You can't impose your goal on somebody else. Okay. All right. We'll leave the third one as backup in case you don't achieve one. We'll say okay, fine. You can. It's okay. Diversifying portfolio, especially into real estate. Okay. All right. The first one you said increase your income significantly. By significant, what are we talking about? 10%, 20%, 50%, double, or what?
Bro, 100%. I need 20.
Please, we are sorry.
I've
written it. Everything a double. Okay. We'll check your pay slip.
Girls, money.
All right, that's great. And then the second one was completing the financial planning course by June. Okay. Adam, last but not the least, what are your goals? Your man is dodging us. Adam, if you are speaking, you are muted, okay? Come and submit yourself for accountability. Can anyone hear me? I want to make sure that I'm not speaking to myself.
Yeah, Alex, we can
So,
hear you.
so it's Adam who's running away from us. Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
No
hear
problem. We'll have this
you.
time. We'll circle back to him in a moment. But yeah, so yeah, to our audience, in case you just joined, just a sec. Yeah, in case you just joined, we are discussing goals for 2023. We've spoken about the need for goals, the kind of thing, the reasons why people get distracted and don't get to follow through their goals. We spoke about some of the goals that we've not followed through, and just more recently we are talking about our goals. We want to practice what we preach. We can't just come here and be speaking to you and then not practicing the things that we preach. So we are each given 2 goals for the year, and we have a pass mark of 50%. So we need to get at least one of those goals by the end of the year, and that way we would show that yes, we are being accountable to ourselves and to you as we come every week and try to give advice and counsel. We need to also hold ourselves to a higher standard. It's left with Edem, and there are other members of the group who did not join today. So as and when they come different weeks, I'll just take their goals, they record it, and then we'll do accountability checks every couple of months until the end of the year. Edem, it's your turn. Tell us, what are your goals?
Okay, Elikem. So as we are trying to keep it simple, this year, hopefully, my goal professionally is to become a chartered surveyor. I want to get a full already in the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, and I want to gain the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyor status. Yeah, so that's my main goal professionally. Then, secondly, too, I want to get an additional stream of income this year to ensure that the money matters, so that I can join you in the December in Ghana. I will be here, but I would want to join you. So as you are splurging, then I also splurge without guilt. Yeah. So basically, these are the 2 things I'm looking at for this year. Simple things. Yeah.
Nice. This year, the new style, 2022 new styles for you. Wait, Adam, I think I'm getting some feedback on your end. Please.
From my end.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this I can see that you are going with new styles. Last year it was chill with no guilt. This year splurge with no guilt. I like that. So become a chartered surveyor with the Royal Institute of Surveyors. You've done the Ghana one. You want to go international. I like that. And then have an additional stream of income. In fact, this additional stream of income, Adam, don't come and tell us that you are getting some extra 50 cedis a month in some side gig, so it should count. So you need to, on the side, you need to give me a number at least, so that
okay. One of the things I want to get in line with that one is to get like a retainer position. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, great. So yeah, that's it for us. We have shared our goals for this year. We hope that you also do share. It would be nice to hear from you. If you could share your goals with us, that would be great. You can reply to this tweet with all your goals for the year would be. We will check up on you every now and then. Alternatively, on your own, regardless, we strongly encourage you to set some goals for yourself for this year and try to follow through to make them happen. Yeah. So if you've heard all that we've said about goals, I'd just like to leave it to Mimi to wrap it all up for us in some form of summary and encouragement for our audience to go into this year. Mimi?
Okay. Yeah. So another year is here again, and we have how many days? 300 and something days. Is it 362 days ahead of us. some people are wondering, should I set goals or not? Because a lot of the time we make New Year resolutions, and by January, second week of January, it's out of the window and we are back to square one. But if there's anything I've realized about life, and once you set goals and you are deliberate, you would achieve them. And your life right now is a consequence of some of the decisions you took, whether it was to take the easy path or the harder one. And so I would encourage everyone, if you haven't set your goals already, please sit down. Maybe you can go to the mountains, a brig somewhere. I don't know which nice serene areas you have. And then just get your journal. This year we are journaling. Woohoo. Get your journal. Sit down, really think through, your life. What is it that you really want out of life? If just imagine that it was your last day on earth. Looking back, what would you have wanted your life to be like? And use that picture to start being deliberate, start setting goals to be able to help you achieve whatever it is that you see your life to be. So if you think you want to travel around the world, why not? You can travel. I have friends who wanted certain things. They seem crazy then, but now they are living that dream, right? So I don't think there's anything too crazy once you are deliberate about it. Yesterday, Sarah was telling me a story about her her deliberate choice of for a boyfriend, and she was very deliberate about it. So in life, you are deliberate about what you want, you will get it. So I would say that sit down, write those goals down. Let's write them down. Elikem is a sucker for writing things down, and I think it really works. I think when I write things down, I was just looking at my 2022 goals, and I realized that some of the things I wrote, I even forgot to go and check them, but it came to pass. So let's write them down. Let's break them down into activities. Like if you want to read, at what time in the day do you want to read? It should be as realistic as possible. If you realize that your life is too packed for a physical book, maybe you can do audiobooks when you are going to work and back. Those times that you are just doing, like, you can listen to something, you can take advantage of those times and still be able to achieve that goal. Like, we are in 2023, you don't need to do everything hard labor, right? So start thinking about ways that you can achieve your goals. What are the things that you want to automate? Some people are here talking about dirty December. Fine, automate it. Put that 10 CDs in that account every month, or 100 CDs in that account every month. Otherwise, your dirty December will be in your house with your coke and bread. So these are some of the things that we can do. Let's automate to make sure that as much as possible we are able to achieve those goals. And if you in the process fall, get back up and continue. Just get back up and continue. Don't wallow in self-pity. And I think that surrounding yourself around the right people is also very important. So get, your tribe of cheerleaders. Not people that when you tell them that, oh, I'm saving for this, they'll insult you. Very soon you will stop and join them. It's like trying to be faithful in your marriage and then being around guys who cheat, right? At the end of the day, you end up cheating. So try and be around people who would push you to be able to do the right thing. Get an accountability partner, a mentor, whatever you think works for you. So that you'll be able to achieve your goal. And then also review your goal from time to time. I think this is something I realized I didn't do too well. And so at a point, I felt like I hadn't done much. I remember Elikem, when I said it here on Money Convos, and Elikem like prompted me. And I went back to think about it. I had done a lot that year, just that I hadn't sat down to think about it or write it down. So within the year, maybe quarterly, you can review what you've done. As I said, this year I'm planning to take a bit more pictures of the things that I do, so that at least I'll look at it. I'm planning to journal more, and so that fuels me to do more. So these are some of the tips that I'll share. So just be deliberate about this year, and by the grace of God, at the end of 2023, we'll be coming here to, share our wins for the year. And if you need any help from any one of us, there are so many specialities, or what's the word? There are so many people here that can help you in one way or the other. Those who want to go to school outside, you can hook up with, Elikem. The ladies who want to become rich aunties, you can hook up with Sarah. And if you want to build, you are sorted. Like there's a lot of talent here, even those in the audience, right? So let's not be in our little hole thinking about ourselves. Let's try and network as much as possible, and you'll be surprised that someone has the solution to a problem that you are struggling with. I don't know if I have any other thing to say. This is an impromptu message. I don't know if there's anything else I haven't covered. Prince, also for you normally do well with these things. Would you want to add your voice to it as we wrap up?
You've said everything. The last thing you didn't say is that, please, if you also have any business, hook us up. I am in insurance. I'm always looking for car insurance, life insurance, health insurance. So if any business come your way, please, Douglas, I know you get a lot of businesses. Please, a free year, please, the CFA cars, come and insure with me. And God richly bless everyone. I know this year is going to be great. And we are all here to help ourselves. As Mimi said, don't just be in your corner. Get involved, get to know somebody, get to have an accountability partner. Let's all try to help each other achieve our goals come December 2023. Thank you very much.
And please, let's all save for our dirty December, so that when Elihem comes, we are praying for you to come. We can have next get together.
Amen. Good idea. I thank you all for what you said. I only have reservations about one thing Prince said. When you were addressing a free about CFA cars, as the treasurer of the CFA Society of Ghana, please do not fill a free year's mind with buying car. I beg you. Before you start sending me memo and requests to buy a car, I beg you.
No, Elikem. I literally meant that the cars that the organization use, they should come and insure with me.
Please, we don't have any cars. I beg you. You see, if you have sent me a message, you see what you've done. Okay, I know, Bob. I'll meet you outside. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Let me just say one last thing. I got a message through from Sayram. She wasn't able to speak, but just so that we can hold her accountable, I'll read out her goals. 1, along with Mimi, complete the financial wealth management course, and 2, increase her equity portfolio by at least 150% from the current level. Very specific, something that we can hold her by. So check the statement as at December 2022 and then December 2023 to check. Thank you, Sarah, for sending those through. Okay, guys, to everyone, I see Paulina just joining in. Paulina, you can also send your goals to us, and we will say it at the next session we'll have next week. In the coming weeks, we have a couple of interesting conversations coming up. One of them may just be a recount of how dirty was December. People were saying that there was no money in Ghana, but looking on social media, I'm seeing a different story. So maybe we'll need to break that down, and we'll also need to discuss how we can conquer the 61 days of January over here. So let's meet up again next week to discuss how to overcome all these challenges and to move forward in life. If you haven't already, follow us here on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Also follow Investment Friend on Instagram. Go listen to our podcast. We've uploaded a bunch of episodes more recently on the ones that we've been talking about, the things that are going on in the Ghanaian economy, the cedi versus the dollar, debt restructuring, all those things, especially what Courage said about whether the cedi is out of the woods. So go listen to these and then stay tuned to our podcast and our YouTube. We'll be publishing regularly now. Thank you all for making the time. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of the week. Goodbye.
Thank Thank you for taking the time to listen to our thoughts. I hope you learned a thing or two and start practicing. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook. And subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. Do tell a friend about Money Convos so we all become wealthy together. Talk to you soon. Bye.